The German gun laws apply to both. So I am allowed to attach lasers and to attach these devices to my bow, which I have done. Now this thing here that still has the cap on because it's obviously still daylight to protect the camera from overexposure to the sun. It is clamped in here, and on the same device the phone is clamped in, and they typically do this, they give this to you like in a little handle, so you can walk around with your phone and the camera and everything and the laser setup, so you can just use it to watch things in nature at night. Now I separated it, I put the laser that is part of the package, I put this to the bow independently, and I put this to the Picatinny rail of the bow. I made a little adapter for it, from wood of course, what else? And now what I have is, I have a Night Hunter whip shot. That's right, the Night Hunter whip shot. Let me show you its features. Okay, so as you see, the phone is clamped in, solid, and the camera is also clamped in. And there is the laser. So what I'm doing is, I'm sighting in the bow using the laser, and I can do this in daylight of course. And then I'm using the crosshairs that you use to measure the temperature inside of the camera. You use crosshairs so that it can actually tell you how warm something is when it's in thermal mode. I use this as my real crosshairs, and I just bring the two to the same point, so that at night I don't really need the laser anymore. I can just use the crosshairs from the camera because it would point at the exact same spot, so I'm always hitting what I want to hit. And the idea is that I can go and shoot things at night that I can't see with my naked eyes without any illumination attached to the bow. So that actually whatever I'm shooting at won't even notice what's going on. Isn't that cool? I think that's the definition of tactical nighttime shooting. So I switched on the laser, and you can probably not see it because it's so bright out there today that the camera is just dimming down. But I can see my laser on my target, and I can sight the weapon in using the H and V adjustments built into the laser. Okay, that was a pretty good hit. Last arrow. Okay, I am now in the shade and I'm pointing the laser, not sure if you can see it well, but I'm pointing the laser at that board. And the same goes for my little crosshairs. See here? My little crosshairs on this. So the board is 15.9 centigrade, and as you see, I'm pointing it exactly at the spot where the laser is at. This means I can now use my pointer here to actually shoot and hit the target, and I can switch off the laser because that could be irritating. Let's try it. Okay, not sure if you can see this, but I'm now aiming with my laser device. Bang. Cool? I think so. So why is this necessary? Why do I have to work like this? Well, the answer is fairly simple. Since you see the laser itself does not create enough heat to be seen by the thermal camera. So my eye can see the laser pointer, but the camera cannot. It is actually blind for light. It can only see heat. Now, of course, at night that can be a problem, because if you want to use the laser, then you can see the laser point in total darkness. But without an additional lighting system, you cannot see where the laser pointer is pointed at. You know, so you would see the laser pointer somewhere on an object, but you don't know, is that my target, or is that just any random object like a tree trunk or something? So we need to make sure that the crosshairs in the phone are exactly at the same spot where the laser is pointed at. Okay, we're now outside, and even though it's really dark, you can clearly see me. And you can see the parts of me that are warmer, probably my eyes, and my mouth is warmer. And actually in the crosshairs you can also see how warm it is. Cool feature, isn't it? This camera sees everything that has a temperature and nothing that doesn't. So you can see a deer, but you can't see fish, because fish are cold-blooded and are exactly as warm as the water that surrounds them. And up here we can see our dear Rolfie. Rolfie's snout is very warm. It's actually like 30 degrees. You see, these are the trees, which are really still warm. And up here we actually have clouds and the moon. We can't see the moon, even though it's actually it is there. It is a little bit warmer than everything else. Rolfie, unbelievable, it's pitch black. You're fine, mein Dicker. Rolfie, komm. Fine. Okay, here we are. It is pitch black out there, but you can see my little fish pond is actually very bright, and that is because the water is still warm. And so are the rocks that we got here. Yeah, and these are the targets. These are the balloons that are filled. And you can actually see the middle one is filled with water. And that's now a distance of about 10 meters. The other 4 are not filled with water because it was actually rather complicated. Let's go a little bit closer. So this is how sharp you can get this thing. Keep in mind it's pitch black out there. Okay, so let's shoot at the balloon. Let's take careful aim. Okay, like so. Ha! We hit the middle one, did you see? Okay, let's hit another one. Ha! We got the top left one. Very cool. Now let's change over to another distance. Okay, we're now at a 30-meter distance, and as you can see, the targets are actually quite far away now. But I can still see them. Okay, and I will of course have to hold over a little bit since the distance is much larger than the distance that we had when I started. Ha! I got it. And the other one. And that is the result. All of the balloons are gone, and you can still see the water splashes because it's now condensing, it's now evaporating, and this means it's cooling down the archery target mat. Really interesting. See, it's warmer here, and it's colder here. What I really love about this instant Legolas invention of mine is that it's really archery in cheat mode. Means that there's nothing you need to really pay attention to. It doesn't matter how you hold the bow. It doesn't matter how you release the bow after the shot and so on. You simply hit where the darn laser pointer is aimed at, or your red dot sight, or your scope, or whatever you use for aiming. You don't have to, look at things through a peep sight and so on. It's all irrelevant, and therefore it is really archery in cheat mode. And that's why a lot of traditional archers hate my invention. Well, tough luck. It's called progress, guys. So if I take the bow and hold it like so, which normally you're not supposed to do at all, and I find my laser on the target, and then I shoot, the same thing happens. That was a little high. Funny way to shoot a bow. There's my laser. Yeah, see? Okay, or if I decide to hold it over my head, like so, which no sane archer would ever do, I'm hitting. Same goes if I decide to shoot from the hip, like so. See? Forget all this, hold it that way, touch your corner of the mouth and all these things, and release it so it swings. Forget about it. That was yesterday. Today, no such problems anymore. This is not a sponsored video, therefore nobody paid me for making it, but the manufacturer actually gave me a sample of the product for free, and I really appreciate that because I think it's really an interesting product.